Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Amanda and this is a channel about cross stitch. I think maybe before I do anything else, I'd like to thank everyone for the wonderful warm response to me returning. It's quite, I won't say nerve-wracking, but there's a lot of Flosstube channels out there, and I understand I disappeared for a year. So I was never quite sure if I would be able to find my place again in Flosstube world. But all the comments, the shout outs on other people's Flosstubes, it kind of made me feel really good that I'd made the right decision returning. And I know it's been 2 months, but I did say that I wouldn't be filming as often purely because I don't stitch as much, so I don't have as much to share. And I genuinely don't know when it's time to film because it just depends if I've got things to share. I won't just come on here just to talk. Nobody wants to see that. The whole purpose, I think, for Flosstube is that people can connect and they see other stitchers and they're stitching. So that's why it's taken me 2 months to come back. But I have come back with quite a bit. I've got one fully finish. I have 4 finishes. And I've got a kind of array of whips because I went through a period where I couldn't really decide on what I wanted to stitch. So I was like jumping literally night to night onto something else. And you know, when you do that, you never really make any progress. You never really feel kind of connected to the project. I always think if you can work a week on a project, you'll get some real progress, but no, I didn't. So I'm showing you a lot of bits and pieces. Some have got more progress than others, and obviously I stuck with some things because I have 4 finishes, but I just meandered around the cross stitch whips that I've got in new starts and other kind of plans until I kind of settled on what I wanted to stitch. I've also got some haul. Some of it's not new haul, but it will be new to you because I bought it in the last year. And the reason I'm showing you some of it is because it links in with some plans, but not that I'm big on plans. I'm in a different spot today, and I don't know if it's any better because I'm now sitting in front of the window and I just feel as if, yeah, first of all, I'm like really shiny and I don't know why. It's not warm here at all. It's like 13. And I still have a reflection. I don't have any light on, and I still have a reflection in my glasses. So bear with. I might need to try and find somewhere else. There are still a few other spots I can try till I get something that works. Anyway, enough babbling. Let me show you my fully finish, and then I'll tell you where I got it done. So here we go. Here is my fully finished object, and you can really see even more glare in this. But this is the Robin Pickens. I did the 4 seasons. I've showed you them all before. So you had that one spring, summer, autumn and winter. I don't know if that's the best way. The frame is very similar to the one from the bear. If you remember the bear frame, hang on, I've just got my tablet here. I'll just move that. The one that when I got the bear framed, very similar, different mat. You're getting a nice, really good glare. I don't know what's best, to be honest, but I framed it with glass. I've not put it up. It's been here for about, let me think, 2 months maybe. I picked it up on the first bank holiday Monday in May. The framing shop was opened. And see, to be honest, I was really pleased with the result. I wish I could get a picture or some sort of angle where you can see it without a whole load of reflection. I did try closing the blinds and that. It didn't make any difference. It was still lots of reflection. Everything's just really shiny just now. But yeah, that's my finish. Absolutely love it. I don't know if you can see it, but I'm doing my best here, folks. And the funny thing is, it's sitting on the floor at the moment, leaning against a unit, because I can't decide where to put it up. And every day I look at it, I think, oh yeah, that one's my favourite. Oh no, no, that one's my favourite. Oh no, no, that one's my... And in reality, they're all my favourite. And I did think, first of all, that I bought the series for the autumn. And then I decided I liked the winter, so I bought the winter. And then I thought, oh, Claire, you can't just have half a series. You'd be as well to have them all. So that's why I bought them all. However, I've stitched them all using the DMC, but I changed out the fabric. I don't know what the called for fabric was, but I can tell you what my fabric is. So for the spring one, which is this one here, the pink, it's the Zweigart vintage rose maybe, or rose marl, I think I've seen it advertised as. That's that one. The summer one, this one here, the blue jay, that is vintage country mocha. This is quite heavy. The bottom one for the autumn with the Blackbird is Picture This Plus Murky. And finally the Cardinal is the smoky grey or stormy grey Zweigart. They're all 32 count. They were all stitched 2/2 using the called for DMC threads. And I really love it. And I really love it. And it's got me thinking about doing similar series like this, because I really do like it. The thing is, my mum, because the framing shop I go to is close to where they stay, and I'll tell you where that is. My mum said, oh right, so how did you frame them? And I said, well, I did spring, summer, autumn, winter. And she was like, oh, I don't think it should have been like that. I think it should have been spring, summer, autumn, winter. And I'm like, oh, did I make a mistake? Should I have done it that other way? But I still think it should work like that, like the kind of clock, spring, summer, autumn, winter. And to be fair, I'm not taking it back. Now, the framing shop is really reasonable. They have 3 branches. That's why I have my tablet here. I was just checking. They have a branch in Glasgow City Centre. I think it's either Charing Cross, no, St George's Cross maybe, not Charing Cross. They have a branch in Mulgai, which is, I don't know if you would say that's to the west of the city. And then they have a branch in Dumbarton, which is the one that I used. So actually between Dumbarton and Mulgai is not that far. They're really good. I can tell you it's all professionally done in the back, and they add on the cord for hanging. They staple it. So I should tell you they staple. They don't lace. And when I spoke to the chap the last time when I was getting this done, he was like, you know, if I had to lace these and get them all, he said it would be 3 times the price and it would take who knows how long. He said it's very hard to get things to look exactly symmetrical, and it's even worse when you do it 4 times. But I'm happy with that. That's fine. This is not an heirloom piece. I don't have children. Who knows what will happen to all my stitching once I pass, but I love it as it is. And I did want glass, although the other pieces that I've had framed by them, they don't have glass at all. Somebody had reminded me that I didn't post on Instagram, so I will post a picture of this on Instagram so everybody can see. But there you go. My Robin Pickens Seasonal Couriers, I think, is the name of the series. And I must admit, kind of loving it. Would love if YouTube would get this as my little thumbnail, but no doubt they won't. I can show you a little bit about the framing company because I did go looking so that you would have it. Yeah, and again, it's, don't know if you can see that. So it's the Framing Workshop, and as I say, I find them very, very reasonably priced and very quick. So I dropped it off, I think, one Saturday and I collected it the following Saturday. It was basically in a week. The only time he says it would take longer is round about Christmas time when they're doing a lot of gifts and things like that. I'm just checking that this is recording. Oh God, I don't know if I could do all that again. I think it is recording. So that was my first fully finish, I think, of the year, because I think the bear was done last year, and I'm pointing over there because it's up in the wall over there. Let me show you my finishes. I have 4 finishes. They're all quite small. One of them I think you had seen before. It was at the start of the year. And it was this one here that I had been working on. Another Robin Pickens. And to be fair, I'm kind of a little bit obsessed. And I think it's because I'm on a real colour boost kind of pursuit at the moment. It's all about colour. So the last time I filmed a couple of months ago, I showed you this one here, the Peekaboo Birds. And I changed the fabric. I think I just changed the fabric because I couldn't get the called for. And here is my finish. I've just shown you the back there, so let me just fix it. And here is my finish. So this is stitched on Zweigart 32 count petrol green even weave. I think the called for is, let me tell you, petrol blue, which is in 28 count, but you can't get it in 32, so I went for the green. It's fine. There are a few unique parts to this. That's all I'm going to say. It doesn't match the chart exactly, but it matches enough for me. I wasn't picking anything out, but really like it. It was a lovely cheerful one to stitch on, and yeah, kind of fangirling a little bit over Robin Pickens. So that was my first finish. Oh my gosh, this is embarrassing. So my next finish is this one here. And it's another Robin Pickens. My goodness, how long have I been recording? And it's only Robin Pickens I've showed you. And it's this Queen Bee. And I seen this and I really liked it. And I thought, oh, I'm going to get that. Got the chart. And I noticed if you look closely, I don't know if they'll show you it here. No, they don't show it here, but they show you it in the back. So I'll turn it around. But it's a Queen Bee. And there's actually 2 charts included in here. If you look here, you have the Queen. And then you have the kind of the drone, the worker, however you want to say it. So you've got 2 charts there if you want. I only wanted to do the Queen Bee. And here is my finish. And again, on this, oh, see, now there you go. This is where Amanda should follow what Amanda thinks she should do. I got some clips to stop me looking like an idiot, trying to hold too many things, and then I didn't even use the clip. So here is my Queen Bee finish. It is stitched again on the same petrol green 32 count even weave, and I used the DMC. You could really add a lot to this if you were doing it for someone as a gift. You could add their initial, you could put a bit of sparkle on it. It's all there for you if you wanted, but I just did it exactly as charted, and this is my finish. Really enjoyed it. Actually, I really enjoyed this one. I only just finished it, I think, last week. Quite a quick stitch, and it's all DMC threads. So that was my Queen Bee finish. Okay, what else? Oh, that fabric's fairly molting. So I have this little, well, it's not little, it's a folio. It was made by the wonderful Jennifer. She goes to the Scottish stitching retreats. She does a few different designs, but this was the one I liked. It's got a big pocket here, and then it has a zipper pocket here. So what I did was I had put in some of my red kind of smalls that I was wanting to do. And basically what I did was, and I'll show you what's here, but basically what I did was I filled them up. I also had some fabric. There was some fabric in here as well, and some threads. You can see the threads in the pocket. And I just decided that I was going to stitch on a couple of these kind of red smalls. I've asked Jennifer if she'll make me another one, a blue one, so that I can put my blue smalls in there as well. And I'll just leave it at that. I was going to make some comment about smalls, but I won't. I don't need to. It's not necessary, Amanda. It's not appropriate. So the first one that I finished, and unfortunately I don't know where this fabric is from. I just found it in my stash, and it's this one here. And this is a little got the chart. Do I? I thought I had the chart. Wait a minute, just see. While you're looking, excuse me while I hunt for the chart. Now I need to look properly because it's a little, oh, I don't know what I did with it. That's strange. Got the other one here. Is it Heart and Hand? Heart and Hand, and this is the sampler. Sampler in a round, maybe? She's done quite a few. The fabric, I'm not sure. I really am not sure. I'm kind of thinking it's either a Crafty Kate or Megan Coffee Crafts maybe, but it's just this random piece that I had. And the thing is, I have another piece of it, so if I stitch something else on it, I'll still not know what it is. But yeah, and I think, now I should know because the thread should be here. I think I stitched it using, yeah, cobbler. I think I used cherry cobbler for stitching it, because here it is here. I'm sure it was cherry cobbler. So there you go, all finished. That was quite a quick finish, and I really enjoyed stitching on that. It was nice. So I have some other red smalls, and I have one that's a kind of fake red small come blue small, but I'll show you the red smalls that I'm thinking of trying next. So I picked up this one, which is Pansy Patch Quilt. Is it Pansy Patch Quilt? Yep, the little red schoolhouse, and I have bandana red in the back. There's a chance I'll use the same fabric. Yeah, it's bandana. So this one. I also have this one here, which is by Pineberry Lane. Joey Noel, also red, and it looks like I've got Cardinal to stitch that with. I have the Red Bird Sampler by Heart and Hand. I've not done anything with that one yet. And then I have this one here, and this is the one that caused a little bit of confusion because this is Simone's smalls, but if you see, they're not all red. There's a little touch of blue in them. In fact, maybe I can show you a better picture on the back. So if you see here, it's this one here I really like. It's a little kind of mattress finish. Look at some drums. I just really like this one. Haven't stitched anything from it. It looks like she uses 2 threads in all of it, Dublin Bay and Cherry Cobbler, but I really like them. So yeah, this is quite a good, I think it's worth the money. And what's quite good is she has the finishing instructions at the back, and she also has, there's some that you can personalise. So Simone is Dutch, and she's got both Dutch and English included, which I think is really helpful. So that was my kind of branching into some red smalls. But then I came across this chart, which I really liked. So it also got included in the red smalls. And this was Little House Needleworks, and it's called Singing the Blues. Now, what I did for this one, which I have now finished, and I shall show you, here it is here, is that this is charted in Classic Colourworks and Belsois Silk. So I bought the silk. So this one is done in the silk version, and this is a 32 count even weave light top, something like that anyway. And here is my finish. I absolutely loved stitching on this, so that's the chart. And there's my finish. I just loved it. The red silk is Tulip, I believe. In fact, I'll have it here because I think I kept it all together. Yep, here it is. Let me show you the silks. Let me put that down a second. And I'll show you silks. So Tulip, Ocean Tide and Icing. That's the 3 Belsoir silks, and I really did enjoy stitching on this. There you go. I don't think it's my first time using Belsoir silk. I think I've stitched before, but they were delightful. They are pricey. There's no 2 ways around it. It's more expensive than over dyes, more expensive than DMC. But I must admit, the variegation ticked a big box for me. If you remember in my last video, I had mentioned I was really struggling with the over-dyed cotton floss that, yeah, there was no variegation in it. I was as well just to buy DMC. So when I started on this, and I didn't know when I ordered the threads what they would be like. I don't actually have an L&S close to me to go and check over-dyed or silk threads. But when I started stitching it, I really liked it. I loved the variegation in the blue and in the red as well for the cherries. So the red is Tulip and the blue is Ocean Tide and the white is Icing. Granted, there's not a lot of variegation in that. And that was my 4 finishes. I have to just think there for a second. And I don't know if this is such a good place because I seem to be already in a bit of a guddle. And you may be wondering I look a bit brown. I'm only brown because we've had lovely weather up until about 2 weeks ago. And I would sit out and stitch. I'll show you what I stitched outside. And at the end of the day, because I work European time, I finished my work just about 4 o'clock. So I could sit out for the last hour before we had dinner. So that's the only reason I look a bit brown. But it won't last. But I've enjoyed it. Okay, so let me close this up. I will rebuild it all later. I should say this is a lovely, well-made. Jennifer is hugely talented, and it's a magnetic clip she has. I think she also has like the presser studs, but for me this was perfect. I love the patchwork. So this is like my red one, and I'm going to have a blue one as well. Okay, we'll take a moment, have a think what I want to share next. Let me share some whips with you. This is an older whip. Goodness knows when I started it. I started it maybe last year, maybe the year before, I don't know. And it was in the boot of my car. To let you understand, I should rename myself the Nomad Stitcher because I have stitching stuff still at my folks. I have stitching stuff obviously here at John's house, and I have stitching stuff in the boot of my car. I know, the Nomad Stitcher. I'll maybe just push this through. There's a needle and the thread's like right across. So let me just take this away for you so you don't have to look at a big dangly thread. So this is actually a Nora Corbett. I have lots of them. I don't stitch lots of them. And this is one of her calendar girls, Zodiac girls. Is it Zodiac girls, I think? And I chose 3 that I really liked. This one, which is Sagittarius. Let me show you it finished. And this is mine. Cancer, I think Capricorn. There was 3 that really took my eye. So this one is not finished, as you can see. I have done a lot, and this is the bit that I took out the boot of my car, because I thought while it lives in that boot, I'll never touch it. So I brought it in. I still haven't touched it, but when I look at it, I realise how close I am, and I really enjoyed. I love stitching with the Cairn water lilies. This is a piece of Picture This Plus Murky, 32 count. I've got the bead pack. There's not a lot of beads, and that's what sometimes puts me off the Nora and the Mirabilias, is the amount of beads. I don't have a good enough system or rhythm when I'm beading, and it just seems to take forever, and I'm always fussing with them. So this one, only having 3 lots of beads, I thought, well, I'm sure I can tackle that. But I haven't finished the stitching. We're not anywhere near beading yet. All done in DMC and the Cabin Water Lilies. And I did start it on a different piece of fabric, which I'll share with you. And see, to be honest, I don't know where I got this piece of fabric from. But this was originally my thought. But I really struggled with this piece of fabric. I don't know. I mean, it's got the orange stripe. But I don't know. I just really struggled with it. So I went to my kind of go-to, which is Even Weave. And this is my progress. And who knows, maybe the next time you see me, this will be finished. Maybe not, but maybe if I can keep it hanging around. If I got the stitching finished, I would probably do it then, because there's not a lot of beads in it. But yeah, so I've got, I think, 3 of them. This is the first one I've started. And I really like it. And my idea was to have the 3 of them framed. So yeah, so that's a whip of the past. Will I put it like that? A whip of the past. Okay, a current whip that I'm working on. Let me show you this. And can you believe it? I've actually got it in a plastic bag. I was working on this last night, so don't frown upon me too much. Here it is here. And some of you may recognise this. This is from the book Cross Stitch in the Forest by, I don't know, Max Pigeon, that's right. Pigeon Coop Designs. And this one is the woodpecker. There's actually quite a lot in this book, and I would certainly recommend, if this is your kind of jam, to get the book. Here is the one that I'm stitching. So I've actually made quite good progress. I only started it a couple of days ago. So yeah, I've made quite good progress. This fabric, is a 32 count even weave, and it's from Tom and Lily Creations. I was in their Fabric of the Month club last year, or Fabric every quarter, I can't remember. And let me move that needle straight across. I was very tired last night and I couldn't be bothered finishing, and I was like, I've had enough, I need to stop. So this was one of the fabrics that I got last year. I think it might have been the summer one or spring one, and there was one blue, one pink, and one this kind of pale green, and yeah, it's ideal for this chart. So yeah, that's my current, kind of a little bit of an obsession. I've been kind of stitching on that. But let me talk a little bit about the book. I'm sure somebody's done a flip through. I'm sure somebody has, but it's got some great kind of scenes as well, if this is what you would like to do. But there's kind of 4 charts that I think I'll probably stitch. Let me show you. Lots of instructions, which is great for people. Let me show you. I could have had them marked out. I could have, but I didn't. So, yeah. There's a creepy crawly one. I don't like that. I don't like creepy crawlies. Yeah, this one here, which is Heron. Is this not fab? I love the Heron. That might be my next one. I need to get it up, but that might be my next one. I really liked it. And then the fox. I like the fox as well. I've showed you the woodpecker, and there's one more. Yeah, here it is here. Just like a kind of blue jay. Really like that one. And there is actually one more, because as you know, I stitched the bear last year for John, and they've got another one in here which I might stitch. I quite liked. Yeah. So yeah, this book I think is worth it if you like kind of outdoorsy things. If you like animals or kind of scenescapes, then I think it's certainly worth it. I'll certainly get my money's worth out of it. So yeah, that's a very current whip which lives in a plastic bag. I know. I do have project bags. I have lots of project bags. So, as I was saying, we've had really good weather here in Scotland and highly unusual. Normally, our weather is mediocre at best, and our summer can last, well, an hour, might last a bit longer, but we very rarely get a run of good weather, and we had a run of good weather. I'll tell you how bad our weather was last year. The garden furniture didn't even come out last year. That's how bad our weather was. If we had a nice day, clearly I was working. So I normally stitch using a light and a magnifier, and it can become quite cumbersome as my eyes have got a little bit older. So I have this one here. You may remember it. It's a full coverage piece. It's by Hobby Jobby and it's called Art Nouveau something. Yeah, Art Nouveau Ocean. I really liked it. It's on 16 count Ada, which makes it much easier to stitch. Like, again, I've just stopped mid-stitch. Let me just move this thread and I'll show you my progress. I might need the board. Here is my progress. I'm almost a quarter done. Who'd have thought it? This is my first time of doing real full coverage, and I was very hesitant. I always feel as if you don't really make progress, but I kind of stuck at it. I stitched during my lunch outside, and then I stitched at the end of the day, and this was the only project I could stitch on outside, so that was why, yeah, it got the attention, and I feel really good. This will be the one that I take on holiday. I'll tell you about that in a second. So yeah, almost done. And I'll tell you, it's a rabbit hole. I don't really want to go down the full coverage rabbit hole. Really, I don't. But oh, it's tempting. Oh, it's really tempting. I've seen some lovely things out there, but crazy amounts of stitches. And that's possibly what happened to me when I didn't know what I wanted to stitch on, because I wanted to get some sort of real momentum, some sort of progress. And after stitching on this, where I didn't feel as if I had made any progress until I really looked, yeah, that's probably why I jumped around a lot. I mean, for a month, just jumped around project to project. And I've got other things that I'm not going to share with you, because really the start is tiny. So I've only brought out things that I've made some bit of progress. So this is my full coverage. I will take this. John and I are going over to Ireland at the end of this month for a week. His family have a house over there. It's in Westport, so that kind of area, which is far. We'll get the ferry across, and then we'll basically drive to the other side of Ireland, excuse me, to the other side of Ireland, to a place called Westport. I've never been. John's also not been recently. So we'll be pitching up there for a week or so. So if anybody knows of any stitchy shops in that area, so County Mayo, Castlebar, any of that kind of area, let me know. I did Google it. It looks like there's some gift shops, but it's all pretty much either knitting or kind of traditional gift shops. They don't really do stitching. So any advice there would be greatly welcomed if you can tell me about any stitchy shops in that area. Okay, let me carry on. What else do we have? Oh, I'll show you when I started. And if you follow me on Instagram, you may well have seen my start, and then Mr. Frog came to visit. So that went down not so well with me. But I see some other people stitching on it, so it may bring me back. But let's just take a moment to appreciate the lovely bag that I bought from Pauline at Sobe Bags. I messaged Pauline and I said, oh, have you got any Teresa Kogut fabric? And of course, Pauline, ever helpful, she did have. She gave me a choice. I think a choice of maybe 3 or 4 fabrics, and I chose this one. It's really nice. Because I have got quite a few Teresa Kogut charts, which I might show in a future video, because I've got quite a stack of them. But it was this one from Market, which was Folkart Garden. I really liked it, and I thought I'm going to start that and see how I get on. So I kitted it up. I kitted it up with DMC. I didn't go for overdyes. I was definitely in my I don't like overdyes period. And this is my start. Now my start is not on a black linen or Ada. Mine is on a dark grey. I think it's anthracite grey. This is a 32 count. And the reason I put it down is I had to frog. So if I show you here first, these leaves are fine. They're just normal leaves. You do a darker colour, inside you do a lighter colour, but yeah, me and my ability to count, and you will see that I've had to pull out, yeah, the leaf here, all had to come out. It was wrong. I could have fudged it. I don't do a lot of fudging. I struggle when it's fudged. And I knew if I just knew it would annoy me. So I took it out and then I put this in a bit of time out. I will go back to it. I've not got a bigger version to it. I will go back to it. And it's a lovely thread palette, to be honest. Even though it's the DMC, it's not the overdyes. It is a lovely thread palette and I do like it. And I'm fine with it being on the grey. I would have really struggled on a black. Yeah, I think progress would have been not just slow, but basically non-existent. So I will come back to this one. So yeah, Folkart Garden by Teresa Kogut. And I'm a big Teresa fan. And I've got quite a few of her charts. So I might show you some of those charts in an upcoming video. Okay. It's going to be a wee bit longer than I thought. Let me share this one. Again, another Pauline's Soapy bag. Bags that I bought from her, called Cats. And just so everybody knows, Alba is fine. She's flourishing at my folks. She did scratch my dad, and I was a little bit worried. And I said to my mum, maybe it's time Alba came back with me. Maybe, you know, it's fine. She can stay here. And then my dad was like, no. I love the cat. I want the cat here. So at the moment, the cat's still at my folks. And now I'm like, what's in here? It's all crinkly, but I've got a couple of projects. What I did at one point is I didn't know what I wanted to start. So I put 3 projects in a project bag. I successfully completed one of them, which is here. It's not iron, but I'll show you it anyway. Or maybe I showed you it the last time. This is a Barbara Anna. I think it's called Oh Dear. Oh no, it's called Joy, is it? Oh, I can't remember. I gifted the chart to someone else, but this was a Barbara Anna that I finished. Loved it. This is a vintage country mocha. So yeah, I had put 3 charts in a bag, and basically my plan was to maybe work through all 3 of them. So I've done one. So hey, listen, that's a good start for me. I then picked up another one, which was Cactus Cat. That's the reason it was a cat bag, because it was only going to be that project, but then when I couldn't decide, and I don't have a lot of progress on this, but I've got some that I can share. And this is, I think this is Summer Khaki, if I'm being honest. Let me put my clip in so that it doesn't all fall everywhere. It'll probably fall everywhere. Oh, I've still got a... Yeah, this is Summer Khaki, and that's my start on Cactus Cat, all using the DMC. It's nice. It's a lot of kind of fiddly bits. You don't get a big run at doing anything, but yeah, I like it. It's turning out nice. I don't know what the called for fabric was. I'll tell you in a second. And this one's, I think, quite an old one. It says here 2018. Let me see, what was the called for fabric? Always like Cashel, raw natural linen. But I chose Summer Khaki. It looks okay. So yeah, that's Summer Cat. Yeah, so that you know, Alba's doing fine. And there's one other project in here. So actually, out of the 3, I have started all of them, finished one of them, and got 2 ongoing. So that's not bad stats for me. And it's this chart here. And not a cat this time. this is the Scarlet House, and it's Centre Point Sampler. And I think the reason I've not stitched so much on this is just that I felt the colours were more autumnal, so I'll probably pick it up later on in the year. But I've got a little bit of a start. This is on a Zweigart even weave. I've not cut it down to size. It's just the big piece. And I think actually it's one of those pre-cut pieces, you know, you buy in the packs. You can pick them up quite easily. So I tend to, if I'm somewhere and they're selling them, I buy one. So here's my start. This is going to be bigger than I thought. But here is my start on Centre Point Sampler. And it's stitched using the DMC threads. And again, I think this one might be quite old. Bear with me while I check, because I want to know. I need to know. I think it might be a little bit older. Do we have a date? So it's actually, yeah, 2016. I thought that. And the reason is I had this at a retreat in March, it must have been, and I hadn't started it at that point, but I thought I might. It's kitted, or it's oh my goodness, words are charging me. It's MPI silks, but obviously MPI silks would be quite an investment for this piece, and I wasn't sure, so I just kitted it up in the DMC. Yeah, charted for MPI silks, and that's my start. So I just picked one block and got started on it. I think I'm a little bit like a Duracell bunny here. I'm running out of steam. This is a lot of talking for me. So that's that bag. And then my final whip bag that I've got to share with you today is a bag. And this was made by Stuart, the lovely Stuart, Stuart's and Stitches. And he had showed this bag on his Flosstube. And while I'm watching it on TV, I'm messaging him, do you have that fabric? Can you make me a bag? Can you bring it to the next retreat? So this is, and he did say to me, oh, it's quite heavy, it's tapestry, but I was like, no, I love it. So this is a bag which has now got a few things in it. And there will be a little bit of rustling here because I've got fabric in here, I've got charts in here. So the first thing I should show you is what it is. This is the Cottage Garden Samplings, the Songbird series that she did. Now, this is also quite a few years ago, yeah, 2019. And I didn't do auto ship, didn't do anything, because I now wait to see which ones I like. And there's about 3 or 4 in this series that I really like. So I said, Stuart, can you do me a bag? And then I can just gather up the 3 or 4 that I want, the fabrics, the threads, and then I can decide what I'm going to do. So this is the first one that I've started on. So this is Joy. The fabric is from a Scottish dyer called Stonybank Creations. You will see them on Etsy. They do not, she doesn't have lots and lots and lots. And to be fair, the fabric, you never quite know what you're getting when you're buying it online. So I've been lucky enough, I'm quite happy with the fabric. So here is my start on Joy. Now, everybody says it. I'll just get it. There is a lot of stitching in these. There's a lot of stitching in these. So this is the big one here that I'm working on just now. And I just put the musical notes and started with the word Joy, just so that I could get a break from doing the big flower. But I love the fabric. It's shown paler here than it is in real life. In real life, it's a little bit brighter. It's a lot brighter in real life. But she's got fantastic mottling on it. This is maybe the 3rd or 4th piece I've bought from her, and I might even have more in my bag here. Because we don't have a shop, you can't just go and look and then just decide, oh yeah, that's the fabric I want. So a lot of times when I'm buying online, it's trial and error. I get the fabric, it's not really what I want. So sometimes I go with it, or sometimes I think, no, that needs to go into my stash until I find a project that's suitable. But this one, it wasn't as bright on the viewer but when I got it, I'm happy with it. It's fine. So that's my start on Joy. This is, I will return to this in the next week or so, I think. Once I've finished my woodpecker, I think I'm going to move back onto this one, because I think with these types of charts, because they're so kind of stitch heavy, you can't just keep stitching on them. And somebody that one of my friends, she said to me, oh yeah, I think it was Jessie Marie stitching one, or stitched them, and she also commented about how long they take. I'll show you the other ones I've got. I've got Peace on Earth, which is not, I don't think actually that's part of the series, but it's in this bag, Peace on Earth. I've got nothing for that one. This is one of the other ones I quite like, which is Simplicity. I really like that one. What else have I got? I've got Forever and Ever, and I know somebody else who stitched on this and was like, yeah, it's like never ending. And I think I only have one more, yeah, and it's Hope. So they were the three I quite liked, well, four if you include the Peace on Earth, is it? Yeah, so it was like Joy, oh no, there's four there, because there's Joy, Love, Hope and Simplicity. So yeah, and I just kind of started gathering up, and to be honest, I don't know what fabrics I'm going to use, but I have a kind of stash here of ones that I think may be suitable or may work. So there's no decisions here. This is just me showing you some fabrics that may audition for these charts. And that's actually another one of Stony Bank's fabrics here. I'll not take it out, it's too noisy, but it's a kind of pink one. Yeah. What's this one? Vintage grey. Yeah, so I don't know what I'm doing. Well, I don't know what I'm doing most of the time, but with these charts, I don't know what I'm doing yet. Okay. Well, don't jam my thread in there. Nice big bag. Thank you, Stuart. I've got some, I might need to pause you. I need another drink. I've got some haul to show. Not too much haul, I don't think. It's not all my haul. If anybody knows me, you know I like haul. So, let me see what I've got. Let me talk about this one first of all. So, this is the new Here in the Woods Part 2 by Cottage Garden Samplings. Is it Cottage Garden? Oh my goodness. Yeah, Cottage Garden Samplings. And it's the wolf. Wouldn't normally be my choice, but I really quite was taken with it. So I've kitted it up with the threads, and I've got a little needle minder. Let me show you that needle minder. That's from Maloka Designs. I've still to audition fabric from it. Sorry for it, and I'm not sure. I don't think I'm going to go with the called for. I'm not sure. It is a very muted palette, which I'll struggle with, I think. When I stitched the bear, I also struggled with the volume of brown in it. But I'll have a little look and see if I can get a fabric that will maybe just make it a little bit easier for me. But yeah, the wolf. I have no idea what else is coming, but I like that one. Didn't do auto ship, didn't do anything like that. Then I have this one, and the reason I'm showing this one is because I might start this for Christmas in July. I might not, but I might. And this is Praiseworthy Stitches. Lynn, the Lancashire stitcher, she's stitching this just now, or she's close to a finish, and I decided that I would just go with the called for. But then, two things. First of all, I didn't like the called for when I saw it. And I know Lynn has mentioned that she's also struggled, I think, getting... It's moss. The called for are sample threads in moss. So you need 6 skeins of that, 2 of the Indian Summer, and 2 of the Whiskey. So I didn't really want to do moss. Every time I looked at moss, it was very, very, very brown. So that's the Indian Summer and the Whiskey. So I changed my mind and I went with Mistletoe, by Classic Colourworks, and I hope it's going to work, but that's what I've done. So that's going to be my palette for this chart. I know it'll not be the same, but I just feel as if it needs the green. I don't want to do it in brown, and there's no guarantee that if I ordered 6 skeins that they would be anywhere comparable or give me the effect. And I hope this is not too green, and if it is too green I will stop and I'll look for something else. But don't have fabric yet, don't know what I'm going to do about fabric, but I wanted to show you that because it's kind of on my little radar to start. Also picked up this one, which is maybe a little bit of Halloween stitching, which is by Aury TM, and it's the Halloween roll, and I really like that one. I do like Quakers. I'm a little bit of a sucker for Quakers, so yeah, I really like that one. I also have on my radar to start is this one by Brenda Jobby, which is Rejoice Evermore, and I had seen someone's finish quite recently on Instagram, and I thought I really should maybe kit that up and start about, or think about starting it. And I have another sampler here that I really like. I'll take it out. It's a Scottish sampler. It's by Shakespeare's Peddler. Sorry for the noise. I know it can be very loud on camera. And it's this one here. I really like it. So Cathcart, Colquhoun, 1785. This was released a couple of years ago by Teresa. But I really like it, and I know there's a lot in it, but I really like that one. I'm trying to think, does it say where in Scotland they thought it was from? Bear with, please, just a second. Let me see. Oh my goodness, I knew there was something with this one. I knew it. Now I'm getting all excited, so I'll probably start it sooner. So you heard me talk about my parents. My parents are not, we're all from Scotland, obviously. My sister, how can I put this? My mum is from Ayrshire, my dad is from Perthshire. They met in Edinburgh. That's where they got married 61 years ago. They've been married 61 years. And my sister was born in Edinburgh. They then moved through to the West Coast. And that's where my brother and myself were born. And we were from a kind of small area around Dumbarton. My parents live in Balloch. My house that I've got is kind of between there and Dumbarton. But I knew there was something with this sampler. And I'm looking at it and I'm like, oh, it must be from the Cathcart area of Glasgow or whatever. No. I need to read this out. Stories with Amanda. Cathcart, who's the person who stitched it, was born around 1773 in the town of Dumbarton. I need to show you that. So this is definitely going to be a stitch for me very soon. So I'm really looking forward to it. I knew there was something with this chart and I'd had it. And you know, that way it was probably during my chaos time. I hadn't really picked it up and looked at it, but there must have been something, and that's the reason why I was drawn to it. So this will be a start very soon. And if anybody wants to stitch it with me, I am more than happy. I'm sure it's easily available, but Cathcart, Colquhoun, from Dumbarton, where I'm from, yeah, you can stitch along with me. Okay, let me get my pedal going a little bit because we're taking our time here. Another couple of ones that I quite like is Salem Moon by Plum Street Samplers. This is part of, she has the Mini Moon series, and then she has the kind of spring, summer, winter, which I've got all of them. And the mini one, I didn't have this one. So I got this one. And I also pulled this one out because I've got this. I've had it for a little while. A peacock, a unicorn and a badger. I really want to start this. My biggest worry at the moment is just I do not want to stitch all the green as the background. So I would be looking for a green fabric. I've seen it stitched quite a lot on Instagram. It's a long haul. I'm in love with stitching. I don't need the finish, although I do love my finish that I showed you earlier. I don't need the finish, and I know we're all different, and that's perfectly fine, but I would be happy just to get started on this. And if I start something, there's a strong possibility I do go back to it. So here is this one by the Scarlet Letter. And the final thing I'm going to show you today, because I have waffled on far too much, is a kit that I bought. I don't buy lots of kits, but I bought this kit by RTO. I just really liked it. It could be because I was in my kind of greeny teal stage that I was drawn to it, but I'm thinking of replacing the Ada in the kit with a piece of this. I hope it works. I would need to check it out really carefully. There's some of the threads I don't think will show up so well, but that's my plan maybe for this one. But I don't know when. Wow, that's a long one for me. If I'm going to make a video every couple of months, it could be like this. I apologise. You can watch me in quick speeds, so you don't need to listen to me rambling too much. But that's a little snapshot into what's been happening with my stitching over the last couple of months. We're doing fine. Looking forward to going away. My parents are okay. My dad doesn't want me to take the cat, so the cat can't leave. It's unfortunate because then you won't see Alba anytime soon, I don't think. But thanks to everybody for sticking by me, to be honest, because it was a big unknown for a while there, what I was going to do, whether I would come back. I hope you like the video, and I'm fine if you don't like the video. I'm okay with that. Not everybody is everybody's cup of tea, but I hope to see you next time. Any questions, let me know. I'm always around on Instagram, and I'll see you soon. Take care. Bye.